Funny, right? All you needed to do is just to draw that rook away from the second to get rid of the mating threat. And I think in this position, no, there are reasonable drawing chances. But rook b1 also good defensive move, but rook b5 may be even stronger. The problem is, however, that after rook b7, he already has this. And what to do? I mean, if you do this one, then h2, and then he's gonna queen. Look at this bishop. It's useless in defense because of the pawn on f3. Go into the corner. Now I guess you're gonna get mated from g3. They're just mates galore, people. Look at this. Rook, knight, and pawn. Incredible. Also king takes h2 was possible immediately after rook a8. It doesn't matter, you know, he doesn't do this, that doesn't go for this rook a2. Rook a2 is a bad move. Rook g2 wins on the spot. Yeah. Oh well. What he did wasn't much better. He played a7. Oh. I was kind of wondering, you know, like this ridiculous position. Could white even defend this if he allowed him to queen with check? Is there a defensive move? Mate is threatening and you cannot come to b8. I think this would be winning for black anyway. That's how ridiculous this thing is, right? Strength of this mating attack. Queen a1 only pins, but how does it stop knight g3? The rook is still there to protect the pawn. Incredible. No, well, Sander Mareka didn't have to do this. He just went king f6. Game. Mate's unstoppable. Oh well. So this is what I noticed in his play. He recognizes positional patterns very quickly and confidently follows them. It has some calculation to back it up. Maybe the most important game he won was against Jorge Corey later in the tournament. Obviously, it was the most important game, but no. Well, anyway, about the other winner, Perez Quesada. Now we're more familiar with this player. He's Cuba's number 3, firmly, I think, now behind Dominguez, of course, and Brusson. And UNESCO already played in the US, won a tournament in Philadelphia, I believe, earlier this year. Yeah, so his result, it was kind of expected. He was one of the pre-tournament favorites, but he suffered a tough loss against Shabalov in somewhere in the middle of the tournament, and then he had to play real well, and I think he scored 4.5 out of 5. Finished the tournament in style and shared first place. Alright, bishop c2 was there. Okay, now this is good. Now this is good. Bishop c2 and then queen b8. Okay, so black pays the price for messing around. Mareka was right, of course. King f6. Yeah, thank you. Good comment from Binary. Yeah. Okay, so let me... Okay, let me move on and I'll show you one of Quesada's games. Now, I noticed... Okay, so let me go back. I noticed toward the end of the tournament, he was just stronger than his opposition. No? I looked at the last round game he played against Grandmaster Matamoros, and that was just a power performance from Quesada. Seemed like he was just all around better prepared player in the opening, and Played better middle game, stayed ahead on the clock, calculated better. This was also an important game against his fellow Cuban player. Black played a solid opening and doesn't appear to be much worse in this position. An interesting plan Quesada found. So the bishop goes over here. Possibly what happened wasn't forced, but I think White was looking to circle around with the bishop and maybe even come to g4. Because if he manages to exchange this bishop, then the d5 pawn is really weak. And as usual with this hanging pawns, you're not sure if you want to move any of them. Obviously c4 makes a passer, but what about the d4 square? Anyway, so Gonzalez played knight f7. It looks very logical. Attacked that bishop and seemingly forcing the trade, but there came unexpected f5. Nicely done. So White totally breaks up Black's pawn structure and achieves this very pleasant position. Now this is all forced and rook comes to a7. Probably an unpleasant transition because Black by now realizes that he is just facing a tough defense because all of his pawns are split. You got 4 pawn islands. You have as many pawn islands as you have pawns. That's how bad your pawn structure is, right? In fact, what's the maximum number of pawn islands one can have in a chess game, in a chess position? Silly question just came to my mind. Can you have 5? You have 4 here. Would that be possible to have 5 pawn islands? I don't really know the answer because, well, there is one thing, we need to agree on. 4. Mark, okay. M. Derby says 4. Okay, great. Indeed, because if you have double pawns, yeah, that's still considered one island, right? Suppose you put another black pawn now on h5.